According to Hunger Crisis 2021-2022 report, approximately 3.1 million people are in dire need of food assistance in Kenya. This has been attributed to the poor performance of the rains in the 4 consecutive seasons, and this has been exacerbated by the Russian war.
The war in Ukraine is not the only crisis. To avoid a climate hunger catastrophe, we must invest in the resilience of smallholder farmers. It's the best strategy we have to ensure that they can withstand the impact and shocks of other crises.
Thank you for inviting me.
To mitigate the effects, the UN's International Fund for Agricultural Development, IFAD, has launched a crisis response initiative to ensure that small-scale farmers in high-risk countries can produce food over the next few months to feed their families and communities while reducing the threat to future harvests.
The initiative will ensure small-scale farmers have access to key agricultural inputs such as seeds, fuel and fertilizers, and finance to support the next planting season.
We're looking at drought-tolerant seeds. One of the things that we might not be aware of is some of the food prices started to increase before the Ukraine crisis started hitting. Countries like Morocco, Tunisia have faced huge, severe droughts.
During the launch of the initiative, the Netherlands announced its contribution of 10 million euros immediately to the top 3 priority countries, including Somalia.
The Netherlands supports the Secretary General of the UN in his call on member states not to impose trade barriers for food. This is essential because as soon as you create barriers on the trade of food in the world market, it will increase the problem. It will make it worse. It is not a solution for the most affected country.
The Russia-Ukraine war continues to affect global oil prices and international trade, creating an imbalance in the economy.
Learning from our response to COVID and looking at the very specifics around the Ukraine crisis and putting them in the context of, say, of a region that's already suffering from weather shocks and so on, there are 4 particular areas that we're targeting.
IFAD is now calling on its member states to contribute to the significant resources required to cover all 22 countries listed in the initiative as priorities. Linda Koskei, K24 TV.